Stimulating. Mind experiment.
It's no sleep, baby.
Welcome, everybody, to No Sleep, the podcast, a lovely comedy podcast if you've never seen it. I am 1/4 of your comedy team this evening. My name is AJ Simmons. Being the first one talking, I'm going to be the first one telling a joke as well. How about that? So here's my first one. My favorite part of watching the UFC is criticizing Apex athletes while I eat 48 ounces of sour cream.
Yes.
I mean, it's like these guys aren't even trying. Unbelievable. And I got one more. It's always nice posting a jizz joke clip, getting one like, and realizing it's from my mom.
You're doing great, sweetie.
If that's not love, I'm not sure what is.
That is always nice.
All right. Toll McGrain.
Oh, baby. I just got some random stuff. AJ was there. AJ came to visit the new pad. My family was there. We've been there for 3 weeks. AJ was like the first friendly visitor besides Emmett had visited. But we were there. And so the afternoon wore on, and I got this salsa jar in my fridge that I can't open. I was like, is this because I'm arthritic? Because it like hurt my hand. So I'm like, I can't open this. I was like, AJ, do you think you can open this salsa jar? And AJ tried to open it. And he's like,
I almost blacked out.
and AJ couldn't open it. My nephew, who's a freshman in college, a beefy boy, he lifts weights. I was like, can you open this? And he did the same thing. Tried to open it. He couldn't open it. He passes it to my niece, who just graduated from college. She's got the jar for about 12 seconds and just pops that fucking thing open. And we were all like, all right.
You guys loosened it up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thor's hammer salsa.
Yeah,
Yes.
a bunch of weenies. Yeah, she was the only worthy one.
Yeah.
Only one worthy of the Tostito salsa.
The jar in the fridge.
Yeah. Sarah secretly went to Black Cat, Alex, without telling me, and got herself ice cream.
Whoa.
And she was talking to the girl working there. And she said, they were having, and she's like, I don't know if you know who I am. She wasn't exactly like that, but she's like, I'm a Tolls girl, She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, they're on that podcast together. And the girl working there goes, wait, what? She's like, yeah, they know each other. She's like, wait, Alex has a podcast?
Oh,
so
damn it.
You were outed by Sarah hard to one of your employees.
You're very popular.
Yes.
That's all right.
And if I know Sarah, she absolutely was like, oh, yeah, here's the name. No, like,
Yeah,
here's the
here it is.
YouTube.
Yep. Here, watch this clip. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Here's one of them jizz jokes. I went to some child swimming lessons. It's weird how terrible humans are at swimming until they learn how to do it. Like you wouldn't think, but you're watching all these little kids try to swim and you're like, damn, kids are terrible swimmers, Okay, good stuff.
Well, you're a great swimmer.
I am a great swimmer.
Yeah.
Swam for many years.
He was looking down his nose.
Yeah, I was like, look at these little shits.
Yeah. I actually opened the door and I was like, you guys suck. And I closed it and went back to watching them.
Isn't there something about babies where they don't drown?
They'll hold their breath. And they
Nice.
do I think they do like a
That is
doggy
true,
paddle
AJ.
thing.
Babies have never drowned.
Yeah. Can't drown a baby.
once.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least not natural.
Yeah.
Like little dolphins.
Yeah. Last night, I got the baby's got a little cough and she's, and it'll wake her up sometimes. So I got to go in there and soothe her. So I go in there to soothe the baby and she goes back to sleep. I was like, ooh, I got to quietly sneak out of the room now that she's back to sleep. And I do sneak out of the room, but I can't sneak out because all my fucking bones are crunching. 'Cause I'm an old goddamn man. I was like, oh shit.
Is there a transformer in the house?
Tin Man needs some oil. Yeah. I got one more stupid thing. I'm sorry about all these, but right before I got here, I stopped at the house to feed the cats and the fish at the old house. And I was like, oh, I better fill up some jugs to to refill the fish tank later. You got to do water changes. And I did that, and then I went down to the basement, and I was like just looking at my phone, hanging with the cats. And I forgot I was filling the jugs up upstairs. This is not a good story. I went back upstairs, and the sink in the kitchen had just started dripping over. And I was like, whoo, I totally forgot about this. Had I hung out any longer, I could have really fucked the house up. So,
God damn.
that's all. That's all a bunch of bullshit from me.
Alex Carter.
Here's something I'm working on. I think this is a good idea. I think I can solve our social media problems. Because the problem is any jackass can get on there right next to a smart person and post all their hot takes on a subject. And you read them and you don't know. You're like, hey, this guy makes sense. I don't know. I think before you get online, you should have to like take, and no, this will never happen, but like some sort of like general IQ test. Like a standard test. Everyone has to take it. And then how dumb you are is what the font is based on that you type in.
That would be amazing.
So like a normal smart person, you get like Arial, you know?
Yeah. Times New Roman.
Yeah. If you're real smart, it's in like old English script, you know? And if you're a dumb guy, it's like Comic Sans. So then you just go through, you're like, oh yeah, I don't even need to read that.
Yeah.
This is a dumb guy.
This person's writing in wingdings.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the real dumb guy.
Wonder what he thinks about 9/11.
Yeah. It's a bunch of wingdings. So.
All the symbols are towers.
And this lovely young man
Yes.
in the middle here is Justin Bulver.
Oh,
Hey.
Longtime friend of all of ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Longtime Des Moines comedy dog,
Yeah.
dare I say.
DAWG. Yeah.
And first time on this version of the podcast. You came on the
True.
old one.
Yeah.
That's right. I was on like episode 6 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
Back in the basement.
Throwback, baby.
Hell yeah.
If you want to, you can do a joke. You don't have to.
No press.
No press.
If you had a story or something, I didn't do any jokes.
Yeah, it's true.
I had a half-baked premise.
It was good though. It was very good.
Let me think of one.
All right. In the meantime, I'll talk about Toll's house. It's very nice.
Oh, thank you, AJ.
Oh, did you think of?
I'm ready.
Oh, you're
right.
right. I'll shut up.
All right. Yo mama is such a dumb fucking slut. Her idea of a grand slam is when she fucks all the cooks at Denny's.
All right. All right.
Classic Justin Bulver.
Sounds like you met my mom.
I have.
Just kidding, Mom.
Yeah.
She says
She just turned off her
she better
internet
not watch
TV.
this. Yeah.
She's searching for the remote now. It was nice to see her at your place. The whole
Yeah.
crew was there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I smoked a little weed in the car, and then I walked in, and I was like, "Oh boy!"
It would have been way more embarrassing if my mom opened the salsa jar.
Do you feel like you look like your family members?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a strong resemblance
There
Yeah.
is.
I can see it. Yeah.
amidst the McGrains,
Yep.
and I was completely surrounded by them
Yes.
on all sides. Getting the grand tour from Toll was borderline like an out of body experience for me. Where I was like, who did Toll kill to, acquire this
Yeah.
place? Because it's,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was like a duplex or something. It's like a full house,
Yeah, it's a house.
a nice tiered kind of sloped backyard, nice garage.
Where you at, dog?
Urbandale.
Hell yeah.
Not way, but it's kind of far from everything I'm used to, but it's not way out in Urbandale.
A little past the
It's
Bucks.
about halfway out. Yep. El Rodeo-ish,
Yep.
if you know where that is.
You ever been to El Rodeo, Bulver?
Not yet.
Wow, I'll have to invite you. It's going
Place
to
is
be
good.
going to be our new spot.
Yeah.
The standardist of standard Iowa Mexican food.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I can taste it.
Yes, sir.
They do seem to have almost identical salsa recipes, which is fascinating to me.
Chips and sauce on the
They have a
table.
template that they all follow.
There's certainly
Orange rice,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
piping hot fajitas,
yeah.
Yeah.
Always hand service with one big, gigantic oven mitt.
Yes.
on-
Oh,
on-
yeah.
Oh yeah, all the way up the
Yeah.
arm.
It's like something you wear in medieval battle.
Yeah.
It's like a dog can come like bite your arm. You're training an attack dog.
Yeah.
You've got one waiter. You've got 4 food runners.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they don't use the big tray; they just stack it all up on their arm.
Yep.
So
they're all
pretty
hot.
impressive.
Some of them are little hot cast iron pans
Yeah.
and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly. What do you get when you go authentic Mexican?
Oh,
I know what you get.
no. I get the chimichanga every time.
Oh, that's Sarah's
Can't
go-to.
say no.
That's solid.
Chicken, steak.
Usually steak, sometimes chicken. Yeah.
I like the fajita quesadilla.
Oh,
So it's that fajita style, chicken or steak, but then they'll kind of close it up in a nice little quesadilla for you. Side of the rice, a little guac and beans, and then about 4 baskets of chips.
yeah.
And a bunch of wet lettuce on top.
Yes.
I love the wet lettuce. I could do the Pollos Locos,
Oh yeah.
the variation of that wherever I go, buddy. Although they had a special on Friday night, which was basically that, but with shrimp instead of chicken.
Oh,
I was like, damn, dog. It's pretty good.
El
like-
And it always-
Rodeo, you're
That's
all
that
right.
Catholic
By
It
me.
is.
special.
And the food comes out in like 5 minutes.
The speed is incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's almost like it's all sitting back
that
there ready
London
for you.
special.
that's right. Oh, yeah, you're right. Friday, that's right.
What's your go-to, Bulver?
I'm a chicken fajita guy. Tortilla, boom.
A man of class and elegance.
And then,
He likes a show with his dinner.
Yeah.
oh, exactly. Yeah.
You see the little steam, like cartoon trail off of the fajitas as they're bringing it out.
People turn their heads.
Oh, they really do.
Yeah.
I always,
They see me with my 6 baskets of empty chips. Where you take 3 bites of this fucking
Like, damn,
fajita.
that food only took 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Box, please.
he's totally alone too.
Can I get kaha to go? Let these hoes know what's up.
God damn.
You guys ever do fried ice cream?
Yeah.
Every once
I've
in a
never
while.
done it.
Is that the flan? What are you talking about?
Straight up deep fried ice cream.
Almost like a tempura
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, it
outside.
depends
They
on where
flash
you go.
fry it.
Yeah.
Do you like it? What do you think?
It's great. Yeah. It's like a frozen ball of ice cream that they put different type of breading on and fry it a little bit, and then put like cinnamon and honey, a little chocolate on it.
Could you do like a fried ice cream nugget like that?
Yeah, I tried once and it was sort of a failure. It's a good idea, it just wasn't executed correctly. But
Interesting.
Is it harder because the nugget's smaller, so it can cook faster?
no, I don't actually fry them, so it just didn't quite work. Just didn't have enough time in the R&D section, but yeah.
All in good time. All in good time.
Take it back to the lab.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Are the nugs far and away the most popular thing at this point?
No, ice cream still is.
Really?
But I still sell a shitload of nugs too. They are popular.
Do you have
I don't even advertise them because they're just
They're frequently gone.
you have to make each one by hand. It's very labor intensive. So if
gotta
I
get-
advertise for them, then I would just never have that. They'd just be gone constantly. So
You got to get a nugget machine. You got to work on that.
yeah, it's the next on my list.
Do you have like an ice cream lab where you're like working on different ideas, like that you're like saving for like to submit to like the championships, that type of stuff?
To the Nobel Prize.
No, that's just every day. Just every day in the ice cream lab, just banging them out.
You joke, dude. He won at ConeCon.
I take ConeCon very seriously.
I take it seriously, motherfucker.
What you know about ConeCon?
Because I feel like every post I ever see for the ice cream, for folks that don't know, Black Cat Ice Cream seems to have been the first ever, right, to create this specific sort of. It looks just like a McDonald's chicken nugget almost, but there's ice cream in it, right?
Yeah.
Because I know people maybe made. I think you had even said you'd seen someone maybe make like something that looked like a hamburger out of ice cream or things like that have maybe been done before.
Yeah.
But this is like a whole new shit.
It's a whole new thing. Ice cream nuggets.
But every post I do see for it goes insane.
Oh yeah, it's I do need to find a way to mass produce them, and I will.
You ever seen those candy rollers where like it makes like the clamshell shaped candy? You crank it with like a tube of hardened or a tube of hot like molten candy, and then you roll the candy through and it comes out like perfectly shaped little candies.
It's like a little candy stamper.
Like I was wondering if you had a big tube of ice cream
Like
to
hard
stick
candy?
through. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I watch a lot of candy making.
Yeah, I've watched some of that. I've watched videos of people restoring one of those machines.
Oh, yeah,
which is
yeah.
even sadder. And
I've watched those too, buddy. Watching the old like toy restorations is my jam.
Yeah.
I've seen Willy Wonka. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a cool little machine. It looks very like old school. Yeah, I could see something like that for the nugs. I guess I don't know how you get you'd have to get to like the perfect level of viscosity to run it through.
Yeah.
Like
You
a
know, there's
pop.
only like
whole
one
thing.
guy that knows how to work it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 89 years old.
We need Daryl. It's broke again.
That's like the boiler at my apartment. It went out like every time it was super cold, it would go out. And then they were like, we got to call in a guy from, it was like 4 states away.
Yeah,
to
we got to
drive
bring
it.
in the Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an old Soviet era boiler we got down here.
Yeah. It's off a submarine.
Yeah. It was decommissioned in '87.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's totally irradiated.
Yeah.
Something named fucking Tigran.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's just not that many places that really run off that.
Not a lot of radiators.
Yeah, not like
in
the boiler
new
radiator
buildings.
full
Yeah.
system, which is interesting because, like, from what I'm told, at least, it's like a far greener option, as they say,
Sure.
compared to.
That's what we
heated
have. We
liquid.
have a radiator system, a boiler system in our house. And one day it was like, it was a few weeks ago when it was one of those days when it was cold out in the morning, then it got nice in the afternoon. And we left the house and like the thermostat was fucking up and it got stuck really high. And we came home and opened the door and it was just like, whoa, like, I'm like, is our house on fire? It was like 95 degrees in the house.
Damn. Oh
my God.
It was like open all the windows. Took like 3 hours for it to cool.
How were the
down.
doggos?
They were
Sitting there
okay.
panting?
Surprisingly, they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, little doggy spa time in here."
Yeah.
Happened to my aquarium once. It didn't go so well.
Yeah. Little iguana jerky. I believe it was. Yeah.
Oh,
That was a big craze for a while. You remember that? The dehydrators? I remember those.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Ron Popeil, he was.
I had one. I used
Yep.
it. Take a wild guess and say 2 times.
Nice.
2 times.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Wow.
did you dehydrate?
Once I made jerky, and it was pretty gross. And then I tried to do the fruit roll-ups that they showed in the infomercial. Also didn't really work. So I guess I probably
Smashed
used
an
it
apple
3
and
times.
laid it in there. You're like,
Well, that's what they like. Basically, use what looks like applesauce,
It's supposed to be healthy.
and then you poured it in there,
sure.
and that's basically. I remember I like blended up fruit and it dumped it in there, and I remember it just didn't work. I was also like, all this does is heat it up gently, and
Very
that's
slowly.
it. I'm just like, that's not. I don't know. Okay. And the jerky wasn't that good, and neither was the fruit roll up.
the end.
But if you have a good salesman or the right angle on, I mean, the air fryer is basically that. Alex has pointed it out. It's just a tiny convection oven is all it is. It's something that we've had
Yeah.
forever.
It's a Turbo Chef.
Yeah.
They have it at every Casey's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's probably similar. What are they using at Subway? That's what I always wonder. I'm like, that's just a
Yeah.
microwave, right?
Yeah.
Because they put like the chicken in there with the cheese on it for like 15 seconds, and it goes ding. It's like a space machine that heats up your little chicken. Like,
Yeah.
this is
Dude, I think
impressive.
about Quiznos maybe like once
love
every 2
Quiznos.
months. And I think because there used to be Quiznos all over the country.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And then one day Subway was like, hey, we're going to put toaster ovens in every store.
Yeah.
And then the
Quiznos
next
was like,
day
"God
Quiznos was
damn
like,
it."
Quiznos was like, oh no. And they just went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Guys were cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was their
Quiznos
whole
is
angle.
so much better than Subway. Subway is fucking garbage.
Remember Blimpie?
Yeah.
Do they still have a couple?
There was a Blimpie in Beaverdale for a long time.
It's like
Blimpie was.
Blockbuster, it's
I feel like Blimpies was the poor man's Subway.
No, dude, Blimpie sliced that meat right in front of you
I
on
like
the meat
Blimpie.
slicer.
Whoa. I stand corrected.
That's right, buddy.
He stopped you in your tracks.
Kansas City has Mr. Good Sense, which is like Blimpie, but I think a little bit better.
Oh, that
They have
makes
these
sense.
big cookies.
Yeah,
They're like crispy on the ends. That's a good cookie.
nice.
Anymore, it seems like Jersey Mike's might be taking the throne.
I like
Jersey
Jersey
Mike's
Mike's.
got bought up by some fucking corporate conglomerate, and they said it'll probably start going downhill soon. Is what I saw. But people love that.
Yeah, I
shit.
think they got private equity.
Yeah.
And I do love Jersey Mike's. I do also know that when I go to Jersey Mike's, I do have to bring a book.
Yeah, it's slow.
Yeah.
I went to.
That was supposed to be way funnier.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know it was slow. That's why.
I just know you're such a bookworm. I was like, yeah, you probably would bring him.
I got a book right now.
Maybe I just go to the one Jersey Mike's where there's only 2 girls working.
I ate at Sheba Hut, New Des Moines sub
Oh
place.
yeah.
How's that?
It was fucking great.
Okay.
I really dug it.
What's your order? The Chiba.
I've only been there once. I got something had a bunch of melted cheese on top. It was I have no idea what I got.
It was a shoe with cheese melted.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, man, this is great. Yeah, it should be if it was a real Chiba Hut because it's like supposed to be like for stoners, you know. If they
For all the stoners
they
in
should have real
Johnston.
stoner food, you know.
Yeah.
Tortillas filled with Captain Crunch.
What's on, what's on your stoner menu? What's on the menu for stoners?
What isn't?
Literally anything I can get my hands on and put in my mouth.
Yeah. I feel like I ate a lot of dry ramen noodles with the seasoning in a bag and then you shake it up.
it out,
Like
okay.
hippie chips is
Yeah.
what me and my friends called it. But
Yeah.
I ate a lot of that. Very stoned.
Yeah.
Just because I was always afraid I was going to burn something down. I had a few close calls over the years of just like almost burning shit down,
Yeah.
like being baked and then like forgetting the oven was on. Classic shit like that. Did they have the sandwiches named after like famous potheads?
They were uniquely named, but I don't remember any of that either. So remember
The Stony Baloney.
Yeah.
All right.
What would be good stoner sandwich names?
The-
Stony Baloney is pretty good.
The ham and cheech.
Oh, yeah,
There you go. Hell yeah.
Pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Drum me.
There we go.
That's the only good one.
Yeah, I was trying so hard to find a Willie Nelson one. I was like, Willie, no.
Smoked turkey. You know,
That's good.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're great at improv.
These are harder than I thought. I thought it'd
Yeah.
be easier. I thought it would be
We'll come up
more
with some later, and there'll just be a list that scrolls up. On
Yeah.
the
yeah.
randomly throughout the podcast. Bing. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Chiba Huts takes all our ideas.
Yeah.
Well, and a sandwich shop to me is so much like Alex with the ice cream shop, where I'm like, if you're going to open a restaurant, what a brilliant idea, because no one is mad at ice cream and no one is mad about sandwiches.
No, don't make shitty ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
really
takes literally nothing. It's surprising. And
As much time as I've spent in the old restaurant industry, it's amazing how many people are in it just because they thought it was a good idea and didn't really know what they were doing and don't really care.
Yeah.
But they just want to run a business or something.
they
And it's
thought it
like,
would work.
God, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
They want a cool aesthetic.
Yeah.
They don't want like a. They just like, oh, I want a bar that's for this.
Yeah, it's like,
They
I'm
don't
not
actually know how to
excited
do it.
about sandwiches. I just wanted to sit somewhere cool with my friends. And you're like, well, all right, but that bologna looks pretty gross. So maybe spend a little more time trying to figure that part out.
I do love a good deli. A great deli is something special.
Oh, yeah.
I love the smell of it. I love how cold it is in the summertime. I love when like the deli guys are like a little snarky.
Dude,
They're
one time I was
they
at.
want to like get their job done. I respect it. Oh, you don't know what you're ready? Let me know when you're ready. Get back in line. Okay, you're right. That's on me.
Yeah.
I was at the Manhattan Deli after a march. So this would have been, pandemic-ish times.
Back in
And
those marching days.
we went there and it was fucking packed. and I love the Manhattan Deli. And the dude that owns the place was basically went through the line and was telling everyone to leave. he was like, it's too busy. It's going to take a long time. Might as well just go. Like,
I like that guy's attitude.
Yeah.
I respect it.
That's the exact attitude we're talking about.
I love a tough deli guy, but you like he knows what he's doing, so he can give me a little gruff.
Yeah.
But I deserve it. But if you're good, you know what you're doing. He'll respect you too.
Yeah.
Start calling you boss. Start calling you chief. I love that shit.
Yeah.
You ever had I've been to like where I want to do an a la carte sandwich at a super busy lunchtime at a deli. And you're like, okay, what do I want? And then you get up there and you're like, oh shit, the pressure's on. All these people waiting. You're like, I want smoked turkey, coleslaw. And you're like, and then I always fuck it up because I feel too much pressure.
It's like your
Too many
first
people
open
in
mic.
line. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Everybody
you're,
gets to hear
you're
what you
standing
order.
there in line. You're reading the sandwich
Yeah.
board. You're like, okay, I think the number 4. I think, but I don't want the vinegar on it. Like, okay, all right. Then you get up there and you're like, I always like my brain just is like, chink, lights out, and I'm like, turkey sando, cheese. I don't.
Yeah.
You're like the number 4.
Yeah.
Too stupid to do this.
Yep.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like trying to answer, what do you want? You start getting real philosophical.
damn.
I guess I never thought about it like that.
That's right. It's like trying to name a stoner sandwich.
I'm still churning.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ham and Cheech. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Great one.
Damn.
Yeah. Grilled Cheech. Turkey and Cheech.
Come on.
Yeah. Veggies with Cheech.
There's got to be one more.
I was listening to a podcast today. They were talking about Bill Pullman, and the dude said Bill Paxton about 100 times in a row. And I was finally like, Pullman! And I bet that's people are thinking of all kinds of hilarious stoner sandwich names at home. When these guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Send them in. We're too dumb to think of them.
Yeah.
We'll roll them. We'll roll them at the credits.
Yeah. That is a good idea. I like that.
Like
And it's just all of our Cheech ideas.
Guys, drop it in the comments.
Put it in the chat. There's got to be something out there. God damn it. I guess like how many famous potheads really are there? Wavy Gravy, fucking
Wavy gravy.
Are the Ben and Jerry guys stoners? Jerry Garcia?
I think
Like
they
Grateful Dead
portray
guys?
themselves that way, but I don't know if they are.
Snoop Dogg.
They're fighting the good fight at Ben and Jerry's. I saw a video of some fucking convenience store where they put a padlock around the Ben and Jerry's to not sell it. They're anti-Trump. Speaking, here's totally. But did you see that the Trump administration accidentally sent their war plans to a fucking journalist from the Atlantic?
I saw that. Jeffrey Goldberg. He's an award-winning journalist. Very good.
God damn, you guys!
Wasn't for like Yemen.
Not even trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking. It's just like.
Donald Trump's like, what? They did what?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Who's running the country, bud?
Elon Musk. Yeah. And
Send it through MSN
the dude, it was
Messenger.
so glaringly like
As
too
an
obvious that the dude was like, this can't be, I'm being trolled. This is like some fake news shit that they're trying to bait and switch me. No, it was straight up real in a full blown private text conversation. Like, how does that?
You think they would have used Twitter?
Yeah,
something.
really. Do all your evil business on there.
fucking
X, I
crazy.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's just funny. I
Yeah.
thought.
How embarrassing.
I don't.
Yeah, and it's not like,
Have you ever group chatted the wrong person?
oh,
Yes. I don't know that
I've done it surprisingly few times. I
Nothing-
really trained myself to be like, let's pay attention before we drop a hotline in the
who'd you hit?
wrong
What were we
route.
talking about?
I double check the hotlines. That's where it's like, if it's hot content, I'm like,
Yeah,
you
sometimes
better
I'm
not
like,
let
all
me-
right, I'm only specifically, I'm going to send this text to one person. This cannot go. I'm like, unless double check it, like, okay, it's good.
Is this
then
sexy
you send
talk?
in, look at this. You're like,
Yeah,
Is
wait,
this
hold on.
sexy-
Yeah.
Is this sexy talk or is this like shit talk?
No, shit talk.
That's probably
Sexy talk is
worse,
fine.
honestly.
Sexy talk.
If you accidentally sexy, well, unless you're like, if you got something crazy going on, a couple, but
A couple sneaky ladies.
accidentally sexy talking your friends, that's fine.
What would you rather publicly post? Some sexy talk or some shit talk on like somebody who's like
Sexy
friend of a
talk.
friend?
Oh, yeah. I think sexy talk. Yeah. I
Absolutely.
Oh, my dick's not as big as your guys' then.
What are you saying? You ready for this little dick?
Let's just say I'm good with writing with a pencil, bitch.
I call him Lil Cheech.
Maybe he's just saying some very terrible stuff about all of our friends. I'm always saying stuff like, he's a great guy, book him. I'm so happy. You know it's going to work out.
Mark it.
So glad he's a dad.
Now you're
Wait
getting
a
personal.
minute.
Not about Toll.
No, I think people would be shocked at my fathering skills.
I mean, I had a note right here about exactly that. What was this? Yeah. Oh yeah, watching Toll be a dad is like when you see a friend at their job. Like I know who you really are. But he was in his uniform, so I was like,
You see your friends in a name tag.
yeah. Like,
And
hey.
it says Austin Simmons.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
oh, shit.
It'll never. I mean, when Alex and I, one time I delivered beer back when Alex was the head dessert. What do you call
Pastry
yourself?
chef.
Pastry chef at
Get it right.
187. What the
Yeah, that's right.
128.
Yeah.
Table
That's
128.
right.
Yeah.
Very
That
good
was
restaurant.
those were crazy. Those were much different times when you're the head pastry chef at 187.
It's wild.
But
Cheech all over the place.
But we like saw each other, and I was like, "Hey,
Hi, sir.
yeah, do we shake
Toll.
hands?
Yeah. Do we hug? Do we ignore each other?
Yeah,
Don't make eye contact.
yeah.
One of my best friends.
It was very
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it feels like seeing them almost at their worst in
Yeah.
certain ways where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we do all have jobs, I
Yeah,
guess.
shit.
It was funny.
I thought Toll was bouncing, one daughter on a knee, like helping out with the baby.
He's doing it. He's pro.
He was really doing it. His new place has an oven just in a wall for
Yeah, I
some reason.
love
Ooh,
it.
that was very cool at a certain time.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-century.
Yeah.
It's very. It's like we got a little oven, and it's just like in a kitchen wall. There's
It
nothing
makes sense.
Yeah, there's
around
nothing near
Yeah.
it. It looks it looks just like you were talking about one of those futuristic, like you pop it something
That
in
shit
there.
with the future in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have our microwave. First of all, it's enormous, and it's hanging right over the stove. So when you boil anything, the microwave gets fucking completely soaking wet with steam. But it also has like, I'm not kidding. Just to microwave something, you have to go through like 8 different options, or you can do the
Security check.
You can do the plus 30
Countdown.
seconds. Yeah.
It's two-factor.
But it's
Yeah.
like, if you want to do an actual time, yeah.
Check your
Me and
email
Sarah
for the
both need a
code.
key. Yeah. All right, 3 minutes in 10, 9, 8. Yeah. It's just fucking insane, and it doesn't work very well, but it's
Hell yeah.
it's funny.
It probably weighs 900 pounds.
It's clearly at the time it was put into the house. This was like the top of the line, insane microwave.
This is the one the astronauts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, was not the way to go. Should have just been a dial. There, you fucking weirdos.
What's your go-to microwave food? Like, what are you popping in there most often?
Oh boy, go to microwave food. Pop it in the microwave. Most, probably
White
a tortilla
Castle.
with cheese on it. White Castle, microwavable White Castle.
Okay.
That's pretty great. Popcorn.
Solid.
Popcorn is the best microwave food.
No, it's Step Brothers nachos.
Gross. The chips get soggy. I use the oven for Step Brothers nachos.
Because the microwave is where you're like, I spare no time
Yeah.
on this.
I need to eat
I
in
want it- I
45
just want it.
seconds.
Yes.
I'm eating something in
want it.
45 seconds.
Just give it to me.
Back in the day,
And it needs to be
fucking-
sort of warm.
a potato raw, cut it open, put a bunch of cheese all over it, and then microwave it for like 5 minutes.
That's not bad.
Like it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Potatoes are good.
The old potato and say it.
Oh, potato and cheech,
There you
baby. The old cheechy potato.
That was my nickname in high school. What's your go-to microwave food, Bulver? Are you an oatmeal guy?
I'm like, no. I'm
Overnight
like,
oats.
Give me a Red Baron deep dish mini pizza.
Oh.
Set that fucker in there.
A little personal pan.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
That's when I will always opt for the oven.
They're like $2.50.
I can't microwave a pizza.
I will microwave a pot pie though.
I
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. I
Yeah, I know.
got lower standards.
No,
Yeah.
hey, no, you don't. But
Pot pie.
Ooh.
Put that in my sandwich shop and eat it.
There you go.
The cheechy pot pie. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't have a microwave right now, so
That's what my buddy Emmett was like. I will not use a microwave,
Yeah.
period, for a very, very long time.
Okay. And they are very difficult to get.
Yes, they are. Hard to get your hands on.
hoping to inherit one. Too. I feel like I did a lot of pot stickers and things like that in a microwave,
yeah.
you know, where you can throw like a wet paper towel over it.
Easy.
Kind of steam
that's
it.
the move.
Yes.
The wet paper towel, get a little steam going in
Yeah,
there.
that's nice. Damn.
Sarah had those
Microwave talk.
Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches.
Ooh.
Yeah, because some
Those are
things do
fucking
fare
awesome.
Those
best,
things are
I feel
great.
like, in the microwave.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Some things come out just, you're like,
Where
perfect.
you like the White Castles, I feel like would be perfect for it because you almost want a little of the dampness.
I actually, this is probably a gross hot take, but I
No
prefer microwavable White Castle to actual White Castle from White Castle. I like them wet. Wet and cheechy.
You should order and say that.
Can I get them extra wet?
The world's grossest cheeseburgers.
I do love them though.
They are good.
And from the White Castle as well. Have you guys experienced White Castle in person?
No.
I have not.
I never, I think like in college, I barely remember it, like a late night.
I remember when I lived in Minnesota going to radio broadcasting school, had never had White Castle. And I remember the dudes I was with being like, you're going to want to order like 15 of them. And I was like, what? Like, you're fucking crazy. So I'm like, I'll take 4 of them. We're all drunk.
Everyone started laughing at me.
Yeah, and then I got my little box, and I was like, "Oh!" And then I went back up, and I was like, "I'll take like 15 of those," which is crazy because White Castle, teeny tiny, about as much fat in them somehow as a fucking Big Mac.
Oh.
It's like nothing could be worse for you than a little White Castle
Yeah, like-
cheeseburger.
Beef you buy in the store is like 80-20, or
Yeah.
like maybe 70-30 if you're getting real crazy. Like, I think
White
Castle's
Castle's
like
50-50.
oh, it's 40-60.
yeah.
It's all coagulated. You're like, ooh, is this jelly or
I don't think you
meat?
can find if you go to like Fairway like a 75-25.
They
It's
actually
tough.
say you should make your burgers out of the 80-20 rather
Yeah.
than because it's a better tasting burger.
Less dry burger,
Yeah.
too, because that lean shit will dry right out.
Yeah, the 90-10, fuck that shit.
You know?
No, that's for bodybuilders and shit like that.
They added the White Castles. They cook them just one side with the fucking. They taste so good because they cook them with the onions and the bun on them.
There we go.
They never have to flip them because they're so tiny.
Nice and wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Pour a
think the
little water
onion-
on them.
Yeah.
Put the little lid on top.
Seriously, you see that you hear the sizzle.
Well, I guess Philly cheesesteaks are a little wet, but isn't there like a Chicago style sandwich that's basically totally drenched?
Yeah, where they
Italian beef.
dip it-
Italian beef, yeah.
the whole
You get it
sandwich.
wet style. They take the
Yeah.
entire sandwich, you just dunk it in the juice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Shot
Yeah, that
town.
looks all right. So there is, some sog is a little nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just like certain cereals,
Yeah.
like Cocoa Pebbles was one where I liked it both sides of it. I like when it's like freshly in the milk, still crunchy, but then it eventually becomes just a lump of shit, and it's
Yeah.
great though.
This is what a change in my adult life is that cereal. I'm like, ooh, I get my cereal out, pour the milk on it, then I'm like, now I gotta wait like 3 minutes before I start eating this cereal.
Yeah, they're the nice medium rare.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
little soft, a little crunch.
I used to want to eat it
marinate.
while it was
Yeah,
all
yeah.
still crunchy.
No,
That was very important. And now I'm like, no, that ain't the way to go.
Well, with age, wisdom.
That's right, buddy. That's right. Get it a little goopy, you know?
Hey,
Ugh.
you don't have to tell me. Bulver, you're a guy that likes to get it goopy.
I'm known for the goop. I got the scoop on the goop.
That'll be one of our sandwiches.
that'll be one of our sandwiches.
A little scoop on the goop.
Can I get a
If there's something on a menu that's called a scoop of the goop, I'd be like, please, please scoop it up.
Can I get a
I gotta have
scoop on
that goop.
Some kind of special sauce. I'm gonna do something we've done never did before.
Oh, shit.
We had talked
Pass
about
it off.
Drum
podcast, but the holy sample board I will be passing on to the one, the only Shyla. The samples are marked Shy, so you'll be able to see. But Shyla has full control. She can boo us, give us crickets, all sorts of shit.
Uh-oh.
So now that that's
a lot of
done,
power.
and it's a lot of power, too much, I would say. But Bulver, am I allowed to ask you about Belize?
Hit me.
Okay, here's my question. I have a few.
What if I said no?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
just deny the whole thing.
Is that like Narnia or something? yeah, with the talking line. Yeah.
But so you first went to Belize because you met someone online.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So my question was there any part of you, even as you were pulling up to meet her for the first time, that it might just actually be like 6 guys on a golf cart with machetes or something? Because had you ever been to another country before that moment?
I'd been to other countries. but
Okay, you had,
Not,
okay.
I guess not in that area. I wasn't worried about 6 dudes with machetes.
I mean, if they were there, you would have been.
Yeah. But was there any party that was
If I
like,
just saw like a pickup truck with a bunch of, I'd probably been like,
Yeah, if you see a Nissan pickup truck roll up, you're like, uh-oh.
turret on the back?
Yeah.
Uber for Justin? No, I'm Sam.
Because to my naked eye, I'm like, you're pretty kidnappable to me.
Oh,
You know? And I mean that as a compliment.
True dat. True dat.
Because did you go solo?
Yes.
You think his mom with him?
Chaperone. But
I've got to wear a little sign.
Yeah.
First time abroad.
Little backpack with a leash on it.
Dude, so
binoculars around your neck.
my mom used to live in France. And the first time I was there, I was like 2 years old because she'd visited and gone
oui.
back. And ooh la la.
his name is actually Bulver.
Bulver. And there are pictures of me wearing like one of these kid leashes because apparently like they would like take me around Paris and I would just be like walking around, so they would have me on this like kid leash, and they're like photos of me in it. I think it's hilarious, and I asked my mom like what was that like, and she's like, oh, there are some people that would just like stare at me and like would like be disgusted. And there are other people that would come up to her and be like, hey, where'd you get that?
The leash? No, the kid.
Sweet little boy.
But no, I was never like uncomfortable in that situation. I was pretty confident. Also, I'm not like a dumb dude. I'm not going to be
No, of
like,
course not.
I'm not going to be like, oh man, I I've only seen the same 2 photos.
Yeah, right.
Taken on a Motorola Razr, but
She has different tattoos in each one.
I got a good feeling about this one, boy.
A real good connection.
Yeah. I think you had told me that you maybe had Skyped or something like that.
Yeah. So we
Can you hold up today's newspaper, sweetie?
Yeah.
What? I guess so.
Yeah.
and so I was feeling confident in that sense, and I wasn't worried, and I know you guys don't think that, but like there wasn't any hesitation like in that sense. So
You weren't like, oh, I got your $10,000, honey.
I brought it in a briefcase just like you asked.
Your mom can get that surgery now.
yeah, I know you'll Venmo it to me. It's no big deal.
Yeah. You're good for it.
Oh, my bad, Zelle.
AJ's chosen platform.
That's correct.
The official electronic transaction method of getting everything on time.
Because I remember when I first moved to Des Moines, I was pretty lonely, and I met a girl on a Facebook group, like that liked a podcast, right? And I drove to Naperville to meet her, and even then I was a little nervous, you know?
Oh, you still get nervous. You're still like, oh man, I don't know.
Like, what if I'm not what she thinks, you know?
Did I bring enough condoms? No. There's always some of that. There's always like some nervousness. I feel like with anything, even like any like first, there's always like some like, how's it going? But I felt like it was really smooth and really positive and reciprocal and really great and kind of kept us moving. It was the affirmation, the confirmation that I needed, and it made me feel good, and I thought it was amazing. So yeah.
Was she holding like one of those little cardboard signs where it says Justin ?
No, but I wanted to do that for her when she came, and because I think that was cool. And she was like, "I'm so glad you didn't." Because I got
You were like an Uncle Sam outfit, and
I've got signs that are like hottest girl in the world, and she'd be like, "Please don't ever."
I got you something. It's the I'm with stupid shirts with like the arrows on it. This is a deeply American tradition.
you'd offend me if you didn't wear this.
Yeah. This is kind of like a Pledge of Allegiance level sort of thing. Was Belize cool, I imagine? Because it
was super cool.
It's sort
It's
of
awesome.
on the umbilical cord between Mexico and South America, right?
It is south of Mexico. It is bordering Guatemala.
Okay.
Well, we all know where Guatemala is.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Perfect.
Yeah, good point of reference.
Yeah, that's where I did my undergrad.
At least that's where they sent me the degree from.
He's got his bachelor's degree in MS-13.
Isn't Belize is like people vacation there inexpensively. Like it's
One of their biggest industries is tourism.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's beautiful, right?
It is very beautiful.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mark it down a Cheech.
You know what,
Okay.
can we get that on a t-shirt? That they can sell at every store at the airport.
A little parrot on it.
And it makes me realize like how gross some of America is. Because like you can go in the ocean and like see your feet. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's so beautiful and like crazy and pristine. She's like, yeah, that's how water looks.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's no algae blooms and
Bring her in Des
nitrates.
Moines. Like, let's go to Gray's Lake.
There's no three-headed fish. That's wild.
Yeah, there's a turd.
What kind is it? Who knows?
And then a homeless guy 10 feet away is like, it's mine.
There's just a bag of there's just a bag of Funyuns floating around.
Yeah.
Hey, free wet Funyuns.
It's the Raccoon River.
Because so then it gets the Caribbean sort of like on its east coast, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I consider it to be a Caribbean nation. It's got
Nice.
a lot of that culture, so it's got a lot of that like Black Afro-Caribbean culture, a lot of like reggae music, a lot of Jamaican influence. But there's a lot of people who are mestizo, a lot of Spanish culture, a lot of Mexican food, a lot of that culture as well. Something that's super interesting to me. They've got a lot of like like Chinese culture. They've got a lot of Lebanese culture.
Huh.
First, they've got a lot of like Lebanese people that live there. They've got like there's a stereotype in America where like there's like an Indian guy who runs a convenience store. They have that, but it's like Chinese stores. So it's like a random like like a Chinese like chicken place, and there's like a Chinese like bodega, and like that's a thing there. To me, that's so interesting. It's like this weird.
Bulver, I think you were in Narnia.
It's possible. I just woke up after taking acid. But it's interesting how they have the same sort of similar kind of cultural touch points, but mirrored in a different way.
Right.
It's the same sort of stratifications, but just reflected in like refracted in a different way, and so it hits differently, and it hits differently to me as an outsider to see sort of like the same kind of echoes of that, but it's still the same sort of kind of ideas and stereotypes.
So you're saying over there the getting goes, don't get robbed.
It's weird. It's weird, but it's interesting.
But like different ethnicities in stereotypes that we have here almost is what you're talking about, where instead of the Indian person, it's a Chinese person running the store.
Basically, yeah. But
White guys doing construction.
No, but they do have. Oh, so here's what also is weird. They have a whole bunch of Amish people. They have like a large Mennonite community, and they run these. Well, they have like you see them, and it's interesting. And they have like these ice cream shops called Western Dairies, and they sell like ice cream and pizza, and it's awesome. It's cool. But like you just wouldn't expect it. That like that's like a
That's their Panda Express for America.
I wouldn't necessarily put it that way, but yeah.
Where it's like the America store. There's like pizza and ice cream.
It's kind of weird. Like yeah.
How the hell did Amish get down there?
I don't know.
And why are there Lebanese?
I don't know. I've asked her. And it's like she explains it, and I'm like, that's like interesting and cool. And like she's like, yeah, they moved here, and it's like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
To
that's
me,
almost like when
but the fact that Amish people are up here is also kind of crazy, right? We just kind of take it for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even something that came to mind just because I was in Minneapolis not that long ago, but like the huge Somali population in Minneapolis. It's like just on paper, you wouldn't peg that as the place to go.
Right.
Right.
Or Bosnians here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always weird when refugee communities get moved. You know, they'll temporarily move them to certain cities or areas. Will take them in, and then it's like, all right, all good. And then 30 years later, like there's a burgeoning like Ethiopian population or Sudanese or Bosnian. And you're like, what the hell are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
Like civil war about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay,
I guarantee
well.
the Lebanese people, there's something like that.
Yeah,
You know?
it's
Like
it's
asylum seeking.
Something, something like that. Yeah.
I just like picturing Bulver pulling up for that first time and you're getting like all the sights, and then you get those like Jamaican braids in your hair with the shells and stuff.
I know, so you can come back like Michael Scott in the office with like a couple little beads in your hair.
Bro,
Speaking patois.
if you ever need some good soca music, hit your boy up. I know what's up.
What's soca?
It is a style of Caribbean music which is very playful, very light. It's got a lot of some of the same kind of
Like steel drum?
yeah. Some of that same kind of reggae instrumentation, but very fun. It's very like happy party music.
Soca?
Soca, S-O-C-A.
All right. Bulver can put together a mean playlist,
Oh,
especially if
that-
you're looking for
that
like
just
emo
made-
acoustic.
Yeah.
That just made my whole year, dude.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. That sounds cool. What this is just a random question. What is someone from Belize? Is it Belizean?
I guess, yeah, Belizean.
That's pretty cool.
I've said all this stuff about Belize history and culture. I've probably gotten maybe like 75% of it wrong. I'm gonna
We're all like, oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get a text in 2 hours. Like, what did you do?
You shamed my whole nation.
I'm saying stuff that's like not like. It's not like that at all.
Are there any Amish people down here? What are you talking about?
Were you in the capital city sort of area?
I have been there. The capital city is Belmopan, which is in the central part of Belize. The reason why it's in the central part of Belize is because I think a hurricane like moved the capital at one point, like years and years ago.
How big is Belize?
Oh, it's smaller than Iowa.
That's, yeah, I would have guessed.
It's probably like 3 million ish. I'm probably saying some crazy
Population?
stuff right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me.
Well, we're gonna quote you.
They'll roll it.
Oh, we're gonna quote you.
They'll roll it up. There'll be a timer of like,
Disclaimer: Justin Bulver does not say that.
of all the fake news stuff I've said.
It must be really cool. I mean, I'm someone I've been to Hawaii, but that's still technically part of the U.S.
Yeah.
and I don't remember it because I was so young. So my body has mortally I've been there.
My body.
Yes, but so I'm
is
fascinated
mine.
by just going somewhere, encountering a new culture. It seems
It
like
is
obviously
cool.
it's doable.
Yeah.
But it's also, Belize, tourist destination or not, you were the only person I know that had been there as well. So, yeah.
And it's cool. And there are also like tourist traps, like super like 5-star resorts where it's definitely like resort.
Like all inclusive.
Just like just thing where like you're just like at a resort.
I know several
But to
people
me,
that
that's
have
not-
honeymooned in Belize.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's cheap too, right? Well, relative. Maybe
Yeah.
it used to be cheaper, but
I mean, compared to like going to Italy or something,
right.
Yeah.
or
Even New York.
yeah, I mean,
New York ain't
Yeah.
cheap.
there's a lot of expensive places.
How many times have you been?
I've been there 3 times.
That's cool.
That's cool.
At this point, do you feel like pretty like moving and shaking around town? You're like,
Yeah,
Put your fedora on, hop on the airplane.
I don't think
Are they speaking Spanish or Portuguese?
they're speaking English.
Oh,
So it's an English-speaking country,
oh,
and they've got a large Spanish influence. So a lot of people will speak Spanish, but they also speak Creole, which is like a mix of
it's like New
mix of,
Orleans
like,
stuff.
French and English,
Creole?
right?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it's
mix of
like-
probably like an African and like an English and sort of like that kind of that the way that the dialect and kind of everything kind of shifted and became its own
Kind of a
language.
Spanglish type of thing.
Yeah. And when I first got there, I thought like, oh yeah, I could probably like figure it out. Like no big deal. And then like Philly was speaking, I'm just like, oh,
Please slow down.
I'm in trouble, guys.
God damn. Were you able to check out beaches and things like
Oh,
that?
yeah.
too? Okay.
A lot of cool beaches.
Did you go like into the jungle part of it at all?
There were parts where I would say we were there, and so you can go to see like different ruins. You can see these howler monkeys, which is
Nice.
and the sound howler monkey makes is the sound that the Tyrannosaurus Rex makes in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That's where they got it. And it's crazy. It's awesome because you wouldn't expect it. You expect like a dinosaur, but it's this little like fat howler monkey. And they're up in the trees.
Are these the
cool.
monkeys that would like steal your wristwatch?
I don't think they're these kind of, these are like
Okay.
fat monkeys that sit up in trees and they just like stare at you and just go, give me that growl toll. Not quite.
The guy from Home Improvement?
That'd be great. A tree full of monkeys making that
Tree full
noise.
of Tim
Bum,
Allens.
bum,
Yeah.
bum, 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 bum.
Those are called Taylor monkeys.
Sounds like the cuisine would be very tasty, I imagine.
It's different. It's definitely Caribbean, but there's also still a lot of Mexican in it. So there's a lot of tortillas,
A lot of fish tacos.
a lot of rice and beans.
They have the orange rice over there.
Yeah,
Nice.
Of course.
they got rice all different color.
What about like birds? This is what I'm in, or squirrels. They all funky.
What's the squirrel situation?
They
Yeah,
got
what's
some
up?
squirrels.
What color are
They
we
got some
talking?
squirrels.
You see the squirrel and you go, "That's a fucking weird looking squirrel."
That's
Or
like a
just
regular squirrel, I think.
That's disappointing.
It wasn't like rainbow colored or anything. Cool.
Yeah, those in India.
They have a BBL.
BBL squirrels. Yeah.
All completely shaved. They have squirrels, and they've got cool birds, and you can hear it. Like it's not like the tweet. It's like a squawk. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a tropical bird kind of squeak, and it's kind of cool. There are these like weird birds that like almost like they like hover. It's almost like they were flying backwards. It was cool. I forget the name, but yeah, it's a different. You're in a different biome.
Yeah.
you get a
Yeah.
different kind of. You get different Pokemon out there.
yeah.
You're in a different zone.
Yeah, that must
It's
be cool.
It is cool.
That is.
Yeah, I've been. I rewatched The Mummy recently, which reinvigorated my my desire to go to Cairo or just
That'd
any of
be
those.
cool.
Yeah, again, just like a
Yeah.
totally different biome, like a completely desert, Sahara,
Yeah.
North Africa, just unlike anything I've ever seen.
And it's been around. I mean, that's been around for thousands, centuries. So it's got a very different kind of whole infrastructure, and so the way they like design the cities are completely different because they're building off of like decades, and
600-year-old
Yeah.
town square.
and so they're like, yeah, and it's a completely different feel, and it's gotta be cool.
Yeah. Well, even the ruins, like you said, you did go see some ruins.
Yeah, some Mayan ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those must be amazing.
It is cool, and you walk up this, and it's still like solid. You kind of surprised.
Yeah. And then you do like a shocker picture in front of it.
Of course, like some sacred temple. I'm just like posting up.
Yeah.
USA.
Vaping.
Got my fanny pack on. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's like people built, and it's solid. And then you go to some things where it was like built in like 1970, and it's like, oh, this is gonna collapse, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is interesting. But yeah, some of that stuff is really cool and interesting.
So what does your girlfriend think of Iowa when she comes here?
She thinks it's cool.
Yeah, right. None of us do.
She's been to Black Hat Ice Cream. Very impressed.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right.
Oh,
That's a good endorsement.
There we go.
nice.
Take that, Amish guys.
Yeah. Black Hat Belize.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of nice. Do they have like little superstitions like that over there, like a black cat being bad luck or something?
Oh,
That you recall?
they've got like some old. Oh, I'm trying to think. I'm blanking on some stuff, but there
Just
are.
make it up.
There are like they have their own like different stories and kind of sayings and idioms and in their own kind of mythology, for lack of a better word. Which is so basically they have their own like cultural touch points. And I mean they were a British colony, so there's a lot of kind of that.
Does Santa Claus
influence
visit
too.
Belize?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, is it like a Catholic kind of country then?
Mostly, especially in the Hispanic parts.
Yeah.
But there's still like Anglican churches and things like that. Like Seventh Day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness. There's all kind of that kind of stuff too.
Sounds like quite the melting pot for a country of 3 million.
It sounds like a
people.
melting pot, but a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is cool, and it's got its own vibe. Yeah.
A sexy Caribbean
What is like?
fondue.
What is like a go-to Belizean dish that
Like
somebody would make for dinner on a
White boy.
average
like
night?
they have a get ready. They've got like a Belizean Sunday dinner. So it's typically like stew. It's like rice and beans, and there'll be like stew beans. So like that's like baked beans for us, stew beans. They might also have like stewed chicken. So it's like chicken that you would make in a pot that would have sauce and different spices, and it's all cooked up, so it's very tender. Just very, very good. And you might have like fried plantain.
Oh.
So they like make a plantain and they chop it and they fry it and they put like it's almost like caramelized in that sense. So that's like your dessert. It's very, very good. I'm thinking like, oh, I don't know if I like this. I don't know. And you try, and you're like, oh, this is I need to worry. This is good stuff.
Nice.
You guys have any Lunchables in there? I'm from America.
Yeah. Where's the flaming hot Cheetos?
Fried
Yeah.
plantains.
Yeah, because it's not a place where you're. Because I hear like in Mexico, you kind of have to worry about drinking tap water.
Shit in your pants.
Yeah, things like that. Like, did you have to worry about that at all?
I mean, I drank it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bro, I've drank West Des Moines water. Like,
Yeah.
Good point.
Yes.
Good
And-
point.
one time we were in Mexico, and I'd filled up my water bottle, which is like Mexican tap water, and I was drinking it and all this stuff. And I gave it to my girlfriend, and she drinks it, and then she just spits it out. She's like, "Is that tap water?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "How could you do this?" Like, and I'm like, she's like, "You've been drinking that?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
How'd it go?
I got home and just like shit my pants. So yeah, they got me. But I mean, a lot of people. It's like if you go to like the hotels there, they'll have like a nice little glass pitcher for like water and like bottled water.
I just even wondered about like spices and food or things like that, you know? If you're not used to it. If you're used to more of like a ranch dressing kind of lifestyle.
I mean, you can still you can go to a restaurant and order like wings with ranch and like
Nice.
it's very Americanized in that sense.
Okay.
But yeah, I was drinking the water.
Live to tell the tale.
Yeah.
If
Can't be that bad.
if you guys don't see me because I got Legionnaire's disease.
Yeah. They got him.
Which is the coolest way to say you drink rust water. No, I think
Came back with scurvy.
I think everything is fine. And no, nothing to worry about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm someone that all I can do is Google these things, you know?
Yeah.
And Belize, I don't think ever Googled in my entire life, you know? I was proud that I even knew sort of where it was. So, no, I mean, it's
proud
good.
of you.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to know these kind of things. What other countries have you said? France?
My mom used to live in France. She was an English teacher there. And so I had been to France and she knew people there. So we had visited when I was very small, when I was like 2 years old. And then back again when I was like 15, 16. We stayed there. I was only on the leash for a little bit then.
Bulver off leash. He's back, baby.
Your mom's holding you back like a crazy dog.
Oh,
Oh, wee wee.
mama.
Little beret. Any other countries?
I've been to France. I went to Mexico on one of my Belize visits. And then on that trip to France, we went to England first. So we flew into London, and it was very hot. It was like 85 degrees. A lot of places there still have air conditioning. This is when James Blunt had like dropped and was like,
You're
the
beautiful.
hottest. Dude, we went to like some cafe and like they just played that album. Like he was like the dude. And then we took the channel over to Paris, which is really cool. But at that time, experiencing London, it didn't feel very English to me. It felt very multicultural. It felt like you were in just like a big cosmopolitan city. So there was a lot of different languages. We were just like a lot of walking around. There was a lot. We were on the underground. We were visiting all these different tourist things. So it felt like New York almost in that sense. But it's still very cool. And you go like Piccadilly Circus, and it's a very, very old city. But it just felt to me like a very, very like big metropolitan city. But you do notice, and I'm also like 15, and so I'm like got a digital like a disposable camera taking pictures of like these like billboards where they show titties, and that's
Like that's going in the scrapbook.
that's the thing that's very different for me, where I'm like, no. And
You're like, Mom, I love this city.
but you do get jet lagged, and so like I'm on this like double decker bus tour, just like passing out. To me, it's like 4 a.m.
Say, Mom, wake me up with this titties.
Right there, sweetie.
Knock it off. Leash is going back on.
God damn. You're a well-traveled man, at least compared to me, sir. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I am, and I don't take that for granted. I think that's something that my mom believed in, and she had kind of lived in a lifestyle where she moved to different places, and so I think for her that was important for us to experience. I think that's cool. I thank her for that. It is cool, but it's also I'm in a sense I feel kind of not very well traveled because like I haven't been to Texas. I haven't been to California. So
suck.
in that sense, it's kind of weird. Because like kids will be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Disneyland or something." And they're like, "I just haven't been out there." But I don't feel like, oh, I really got to go. I would love to go to like San Francisco or LA and like see Santa Monica, things like that. I just haven't just been out there.
Yeah.
So I'm in that sense, I think I'm different from a lot of people to where like that might be like a common thing to like, oh, we're taking a trip to Austin. We're going to New Orleans or things like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I visited most of the states as a child.
That's cool. That's super cool. Yeah. Was that
In
just
the
like
car.
family trips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if you've never been to any other state except Iowa. Iowa, Belize, France, Mexico.
I really one day like to go to Omaha. Like,
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we.
Yes. See the sights.
I've heard it's just like super flat. But when you were like taking those trips, like, was there something that you like really liked or had a moment that you thought was super cool?
Oh man, there were so many of those. That's what we did. I mean, just me and my mom and my dad in the car, driving the country. I remember the Highway 1 in California, and we did Highway 1 basically from Washington down to Northern California,
That's cool.
Boy,
and
that's
that
a
was
lot of
amazing.
driving. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet though, and seeing like Big Sur. Like, there's not. I mean, there can't be a lot of places like that on Earth that are that amazing, and so that was sweet. And you know, the mountains and shit. I liked all that stuff. The rolling hills in the southeast. Yeah, Glacier National Park, Yellowstone, all that.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Any titties on billboards?
Sure weren't.
It's right next to Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
There's Mount Rushmore, crazy horse.
Yeah, pan right.
Hell yeah.
There's a little town. It's actually called Rack City.
Founded by Tyga. Well, and another thing about Justin Bulver, if you don't mind me saying, you're also in the hotel business, right?
I'm in the biz.
I feel like I feel like the industry is ripe for a great person who works at a hotel story. Maybe I'm like not thinking of one that already exists, but I feel like the amount of interaction you would have with people in interesting kind of ways, like the little insights into their lives you would get via their probably likely disgusting hotel rooms when they leave.
Yeah, you see people when they're traveling. In that sense, you see people when they're vulnerable, right? Because they're not on home base. And so you see people when they're kind of out of their element.
And they have their weirdest sex.
Which is kind of weird. Yeah,
For real.
Elaborate.
I mean, like, you're like, oh, a hotel room. What do we don't have anything to worry
Let's
about.
stink this place up.
Yeah, squirt away, bitch.
We didn't get this heart-shaped tub for nothing.
Yeah. Daddy's trying anal tonight. That's what I elaborated.
Yeah.
If only we had a soundboard that could play some awesome sound effects right now.
No comment from
Oh, fuck. I'm going to look so stupid.
There we go.
She got me.
roasted.
Oh, man. But there's a clientele that you see. Sometimes it depends like on the brand or the hotel that you work at, what kind of people you're going to get. I mean, I've worked at like a family vacation resort property. And you get a lot of families, people there for like kids' birthday parties, that type of stuff. You're in a different clientele than when you're at like a business traveler property downtown. And so you get a different vibe just within that. But there are crazy stuff happens. There's like whenever you're in a 24/7 business, crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
And crazy stuff happens with the guests, and crazy stuff happens with the employees. Forget about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy stuff just with the people that work there. when you have an industry like that is 24/7, where it needs a lot of kind of manpower, you open yourself up to a cast of characters that you wouldn't get where you work at like an office, right?
Right.
Or if you work at like an insurance company or a dental hygienist office, or working reception at the tanning salon, or, you know what I'm saying?
You're working like a whole team of people that are doing an array of services. You know, it's
Exactly.
not like 8 people at their computers. It's the maintenance guy. It's the front desk. The everything.
So you see a lot of different like archetypes, a lot of different different types of people, and so that's interesting. Kind of the mix in general. You also see we talked about like family resemblances with Toll earlier. And so when you have like different conventions that come in, you can see like the resemblance of like this type of dude, right?
Yeah.
So whenever there's like, like an ag conference, you see every dude who looks like that guy.
Yeah.
Where they've got the jeans, the checkered shirt, the black vest, like
The different variants of the same character.
to a T.
Yeah.
You've got like
The Zin print in the pocket.
dude, but of any guy, of it's like, we've got all the podiatrists in, and they're all in, and then you've got like realtors, and it's like every girl who's got like a pink blazer on, who's like or you have
Is there a worst one where you're like, oh great, here we go?
no,
Here come the hot dog
it's the pimp
salesman.
convention again.
no, it's
The
just
players ball.
no. The groups that suck as an employee are the ones where it's like, it's like a dance competition.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's just like,
Dance moms.
well, that, but then it's because they're stressed out, and there's just a bunch of kids running around, and then there's just
Chaos.
like, dude, we've got like 6 dumpsters. They're full by fucking Thursday. How? You're just walking down, and you see like a giant fake eyelash on the escalator railing, and it's like, how did this happen? And there's just, you vacuum, like there's glitter everywhere, bro. And it's like, hey, can you guys vacuum 3rd floor? And it's like, oh, we just did. No, like, no, please. And it's like, no, dude, we just did. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. There's glitter everywhere. What happened here? So those are the ones that suck. There's no one where I'm like, oh no, these guys. No, because it's just interesting to kind of see them all together, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
The Star Trek squad's here.
Yeah.
There will be like an anime convention, and it's like, oh yeah, yep, there they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was at a wedding in Fort Collins, Colorado during a Little People convention,
Yeah.
which was crazy. And at the time, I was very afraid of Little People because of Willy Wonka
How old were
and the
you?
Chocolate Factory. That's probably
33.
But yeah, I was very terrified of Oompa Loompas, and then I was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Yeah.
Might have turned Toll into a giant strawberry.
You just open the door, they're just making a shit ton of chocolate. I knew it.
Get out of here.
That's why he's so obsessed with those candy making videos.
Yeah.
Deep seated.
There we go.
I feel like the theme park hotel must have had some interesting characters as well,
Oh my God.
because theme park people,
I could go for hours. I did sign multiple NDAs,
Damn.
but I got some stories. We would just have crazy shit with the employees doing bad stuff, and guests doing bad stuff, and you got to call the cops.
Yeah,
And
what's like the line of intervention? You know what I mean?
In terms of,
Like how far does the party have to go before you're like, all right, it's time to call the cops on this? I mean, is it full Diddy?
where if I'm like, hey guys,
Freak off? Or?
where if I'm like, hey guys, if you don't like be quiet, we're gonna have to call the cops, and they keep doing it, then I call the cops. Then
Right.
they have to leave.
Yeah.
You have to turn down the Breaking Benjamin. People are trying to sleep.
It's 2:30 in the morning.
Some people wouldn't listen. People, a lot of it's really, really sad. There's drugs. There's domestic violence. stuff like that. But then there's stuff just like plain stupid stuff where it's like, hey guys, please don't light off fireworks in your room.
Yeah.
Please.
And then of course it happens. And then every other dude's like, I was a veteran. I'm like, God damn it. Every veteran's right next to this room.
Yeah, the veterans convention's here.
Shouldn't have booked it against the fireworks.
That was our bad.
Yeah. Who's the low key coolest of the staff beyond yourself? Obviously, is it the cleaning people? Is it the cooks? You know,
Cooks are pretty cool. All the cooks are always like, you want to be chill with those dudes, and those guys will always be chill with you. There's always like some cook drama though. Especially if you smoke. If you smoke, you get all the gossip.
Everyone's out by the dumpsters
There's always somebody
trading
else.
war stories.
Yeah, they
breaking down
know
boxes.
Those guys know what's going on. I don't smoke, so I was always oblivious to that stuff. I was like, what? Him with her? Oh, okay. Damn.
next to the trash compactor.
Maybe she's not that fat. Cooks are always good dudes. Cooks, because I was a waiter, and if you know anything about cooks fucking hate waiters. A waitress, a cook will love.
Yeah,
But if you're
Romeo and Juliet.
If you're a male waiter twink like me,
Yeah.
you're like, I would.
Is that how you got into the hotel biz, being a waiter?
I was a busboy, and I was a host, and I was bad at it, man. And then I became a waiter. I was very, very bad at that. But I was kind of
keep sending them up the pole. Something will work. It sucks.
And then I became a bartender. I was so bad. Man, no,
So you failed upwards into upper management.
fail
somehow?
forward, fail forward. But I was so bad. There was one time I was just running food, and like, hey, take it to this table, stick stop, and I'm like, okay. And so I get out there, and I'm like, who had the chicken tenders? And they just looked at me. They're like, we haven't ordered yet.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, buddy, okay. I fucked up.
Did you want chicken tenders? Because
I have some.
they're all down my arm in this gigantic fucking.
There was one, but that was bad. Where like another hostess sat at a table in the booth, and there was like a turd in the booth.
Oh, wow! Dinner for two?
We had to comp the whole room. It was.
Damn.
If a turd is present, you gotta.
Yeah. What was somebody doing?
Who snuck a turd?
Yeah.
Oh, the table before was like drinking wine and shit. I don't know what happened.
Turd slipped loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was no comment.
Who handled the turd?
I don't
The
know.
turd wrangler.
Yeah.
He's in the basement.
we got a guy.
He's always the coolest guy at the hotel. Jerry, the turd wrangler.
Got one in the pool.
The coolest guy at the hotel was usually like the restaurant manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always like the coolest dude. Or just like a cool bartender. But there's always like a cast of characters. But the cooks would love the waitresses, give them free fries, give them all this stuff. But a cook would just fucking scream at you if you suck. You'd be like, oh no, sauce is on the side. It's on the side. And he just look at you and like, it's on the fucking ticket. I'm sorry. They fucking don't play.
Oh,
He'd be
man.
like, hey, no, she took it back. She said it was too dry. It's cold. And one time the head cook, he like squeezed the bun of like this French dip, and he squeezed it and it flaked in his fingers, and he was just like, it died in the fucking window. Shit. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, it's my fault. You're right. I had 4 tables. He was like, I'll make it on the fly. God fucking damn it. Slamming shit. I'm just sitting there like,
Drop the fries. All right.
will you still make my grilled cheese later? You just get it's right. It's a very tough industry, but it's an industry that is very accessible to people who may have had a bad past, or may
People on the fringes.
or may not have any other options, or may not speak English, or may have been on the outside in some ways. And in a way, I was like that too, because I wasn't able to get a job, and I was able to kind of work myself up. But it's very tough, and it's demanding of you in ways a lot of other jobs aren't, in terms of like the hours that are required, the physicality that's required. But it can be very rewarding for a lot of people. It can also be very
The opposite of rewarding.
It can be
Taxing.
It can be. It can also have a lot of pitfalls. So a lot of people can get in that industry and can get into trouble with a party lifestyle, with an alcohol lifestyle, with sexual harassment. And
It's
I don't.
the service industry, period.
I don't pretend. I'm not naive. I know those things exist, and
Mm-hmm.
they're very prevalent, and people get in trouble with that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why Bulver had to switch jobs.
We're going to move you to the La Quinta on the south side.
Yeah.
They kept man,
Like an orca from SeaWorld. Gotta move him around.
They just couldn't stop spanking me.
Yeah, I was picturing Bulver with like little yoga pants on, trying to curry the favor of the cooks. Hey, boy.
Real Cheech, huh?
Yeah. Gets the FloJo nails.
These are too short. Whatever it takes, man. Just got to get one of those cooks to co-sign on my loan to LeJames.
I'm going to cosmetology school.
It's a deep cut, but he's got the home.
That's good.
Yeah, I would say the hardest partying I ever did was with service industry people while I was working in the service industry.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being on a pirate ship, you know?
Oh, I mean, that's the best analogy ever.
Yeah, you're all on that boat, and you all got your job, and you ain't leaving that boat.
And whoever has the most teeth is the boss.
Yeah,
Well, just some of the hours just lend itself to where you're like, oh, I'm working.
yeah. Who's like, oh, I'll work the graveyard shift 7 nights a week.
I'm working like 2 to 10, and then what are you gonna do? And you don't have to be up till noon. And
Yep.
so, yeah, and you could do it every night. People do.
I did.
Yeah. Living proof.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I worked at places where like the manager would be on acid. I'm like, it's my first day.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be training me, man.
All right, here's how you do acid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're on a cop, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, one of my managers like basically like taught me how to sell weed. I was like, okay. Yeah, and like going on break and like at least a lot of the places I worked in Ames, they were all kind of in that campus town area, so they're butted up to like liquor stores and gas stations,
Yeah.
and all that. You know, you get to know all those people that ran those stores. So you'd go in and grab like 6 shooters for the whole crew.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once it slowed down before the next rush, you'd all be back there.
Whenever a
Sucking
guy's
them down.
buying 6 shooters in one transaction,
Yes.
you know he's got it together.
It's like
Oh,
2:30 in
buddy.
the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And getting the day started.
Yeah.
Fun times though. I mean, yeah, there was, it's almost that Anthony Bourdain thing. Told let me borrow his book, Kitchen Confidential. And I feel like he did probably the best that I've read or experienced, captured that essence of like the smoking a cigarette, sitting on a bucket out back by like the dumpster that's been cooking all afternoon,
Yeah.
reeking. You know, you're all wet because you busted out some dishes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give
there was a glory in it. At
Yeah.
times.
There is, and a lot of those guys are glory driven to where if you work your way up from a dishwasher, you're going to earn a level of respect and a level of ethos that guys who just come straight from culinary school aren't going to get. And those places kind of foster that kind of ethos and that sort of valor system. And it is bred in those type of places. And so I have a lot of respect for the work that those people do. And I know Bourdain did. He's also a fantastic writer. And I think that's something that people sometimes forget about. just in terms of his prose, which was always very smooth and stylish.
Yeah, his book was a great read.
Yeah, but I think he embodies that, and I think that there's a respect for that type of work and work in general, in dirty work and those jobs that take manual labor, or any type of blue collar job, construction stuff, anything where it's outside, anything where you're in the elements. I think people who do that kind of work understand it, and I think have a reverence for it, or at least a respect for it.
I disagree.
Right? I say, right, Toll?
It can go fuck itself.
But without you, people wouldn't get their delicious
I guess
beer.
what I mean is that I having done some of this stuff, I appreciate the work that goes into it, and I know the work that it takes to get that stuff done, and I appreciate the workers who do that stuff. And I think sometimes that gets lost in modern culture, in the sense that I can use my phone to like order like a wine bottle opener that like takes like 6 AA batteries and like have it just show up at my doorstep
In a day.
in like 2 hours,
Yeah.
which is wild. But it's not lost on me that a lot of people have to do a lot of work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to open a wine bottle, like uncork it with a.
Butter knife.
It was like a serrated, kind of skinny, like little steak knife. And I wound up just chopping it up and shooting it like chunks of cork into the wine.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was the only bottle of wine I had, and it was like a girl was over. So I'd like pour it out and then like get
the
a
chunks
spoon,
out.
yeah, scoop the chunks out.
Little vino? Oh, sorry. That's
This is a 20-year, well aged. I didn't realize how to work a corkscrew. Yeah, I remember it being a big deal when they first let me like start cutting like the sides of beef for our pulled beef and things like that. Like all these little, like you said, almost like military service where you start at like private first class and then you get worked up into like different things. I remember when I worked at Golden Corral. They were like,
brag.
we'll let you fry the chicken now. That was a big deal. If a dishwasher could fry the chicken, you knew you were on your way.
Hell yeah.
5 minutes later, AJ's putting the fried chicken in the dishwasher. He wasn't ready.
You gotta, you gotta show up to like 5 shifts in a row for that.
Yeah.
In 1 month.
Yeah. I would say some of the funnier people I've ever met, just like conversationally, not stand up or whatever, but just funny in life, were a lot of service industry people too. Because they're just, I think it just grizzles you in some type of way that adds like, I don't know, a funny flavor on you.
Do you think funny people are evenly distributed like throughout society? Or do you think that, I don't know, or do you think that certain things make you funnier?
Yes.
Yeah, I think life experience
Tragedy.
usually, I think that tends to make the most out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some people are like very smart, which can help you be funny, down the road.
Yeah,
like John Mulaney strikes me as a guy like that, or like Conan O'Brien, like guys that are very funny, enjoy funny things, but I think are just more smart than anything, so they can figure out the puzzle.
At some level, it's like a language problem. You have to kind of understand the structure. But some people are just intuitive; they just get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's an ear for it. You kind of hear it.
Yeah, well, even like when I worked construction, I felt like you had to learn how to be pretty funny, or at least have thick skin and be able to like be made fun of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because they're all just like kind of hard guys, Like I remember I think it was like a lip ring while I was working construction.
That's a tough.
Which was like the worst mistake I could have.
Oh, yeah. You might as well start wearing lipstick while you're at it.
Yeah. And I got trashed so hard.
That's hard. That's
for like 10 straight hours of work.
That's a big target.
Like blistering hot, like framing houses. And like
I love that one.
I came back the next day, no lip ring, and it was never not brought up.
Oh, yeah.
The rest
almost
of
worse.
It's over.
Yeah.
Your lip
Yeah, should have stuck with it.
Because they chiseled
They
that
would've got over it.
and then it collapsed. Like you caved in, and they're like, oh yeah, now we like.
Yeah.
We got him now.
Yeah, I was
But
a
if-
house of cards.
But if you don't let them do it, then it's like then you're a douchebag. Then it's
yeah.
like now you're an asshole. Like no,
Yeah.
you got it. Like you know you did it.
Yeah.
But it also proves that like because it's like bullying works, and so bullying can like
it worked that time.
well it creates a cohesiveness. So it creates its own kind of culture. And bullying is one of the things that they do to like stop kind of the transgressions of that culture, right? And so if there's any nonconformity,
Quit using big words.
when bullying stomps
We're
out,
stupid, man.
Bullying stomps out nonconformity. But when you stand, you either. God damn it! I got cricketed.
Oh
I
man.
got cricketed.
I'm bringing my thesaurus next time Bulver's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a learned man.
No, I thought it looked like Bulver was just about to say something, but then I think he thought I was just about to say something.
Go ahead.
It was a stay away. I had nothing. I was trying to think of more of those construction stories. Well, I think I told a story about I think his name was Freddie, but this guy who he was always giving me shit because I was afraid of heights. Because like when you frame houses, you have to wall walk, which is basically walking like a 4-inch, wide 2x4 on the top of a wall that's not, you're building it essentially.
What's the highest up you've ever been?
It was like 30 feet, no harness,
Yeah.
nothing.
Of course.
Like on the future roof?
Yeah, even before the roof. So like
the
before
top of the house before the roof.
Yeah.
before they set the truss and everything, like the pointy part.
That's tough.
And so
yeah.
you're walking there, and you and yeah, Freddie or Frank or something like that. You'd be like, "You're a pussy, man." Like, Hispanic guy.
They just do it, man.
Yeah, he was giving me shit all the time. And he had this like, I don't know if it was like a Z-Rock, whatever. It was like some car that was
IROC Z.
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Z-Rock. Yeah. It was like a Firebird, some car that my dad would have drove like in the 80s or something. But he loved it, and he was always bragging about it. And then one day he called in sick, like super last minute. And then my boss went over there and found him working on the car, and then he fired him because he was nuts. Which was a great day for me. That was a comeuppance.
He probably owed like $40K on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was upside down in that car. Crazy.
But you did it. You climbed on the roof.
Oh yeah, no. Eventually,
You're not a pussy anymore.
well.
Then you fell. You're walking, then you fell, and then you got caught on your lip ring.
Yeah,
And
I was hanging from
yeah, yeah.
Lip ring saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OSHA approved.
Yeah.
While playing All Star by Smash Mouth
Yeah.
on one of those DeWalt boom boxes.
The DeWalt boombox. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was me and my buddy Jake and my boss. I wasn't 21 yet. My boss would do us a solid and buy us like the big Texas handle of Hawkeye vodka, and we just crush screwdrivers every night, and then wake up like 5 a.m. probably still drunk, and then drive in his shitty little car because you have to like go to these new sites or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like all around Ankeny and Johnston at the time, and yeah, we were pretty stupid. I'm amazed that we kept that job as long as we did. I quit that job from Warped Tour on the phone.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You could hear Reliant K in the background or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this.
Fuck this. Lip ring out.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember being like, no, I'm meant to be a rock star, man. I'm fuck construction, blah, blah, blah.
I'm going pro snowboarding.
Yeah, exactly. That was very much the vibe.
Dear Maria, count me in.
That was very much the era. Yeah. Those jobs are critical, though. I feel like
Oh, yeah. Everyone needs to have those jobs.
like all the tolls, general labor jobs, great examples
I
of that.
respect it, and I respect what you do.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Setting up those pool tables.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Pool tables are heavy, dude.
I know, I can't even imagine.
My
So are
they
kegs.
they bought a house and like the guy who sold it just left the pool table.
Yeah, fuck it.
Oh yeah, many
They're
people
so
do that.
big.
Most
Yeah.
people do that.
Comes with the house.
You have to hire special movers to move a pool table because they have to be assembled and torn down.
Yeah, I guess you can't just move it full like that.
Unless it's like an arcade or bar style pool table, they can be moved in one piece, and it's fucking a nightmare.
You've worked with some crazy dudes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I worked with some crazy motherfuckers.
Some work release kind of guys.
Yeah. Yep. Indeedly do.
Like Justin Bulver.
Yeah.
Fresh out.
Yeah, better watch out for this guy. You keep saying ethos.
Oh no! Give me the buzzer. I'm done.
Fancy college boy.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what I got at all. The thing that they made fun of me when I worked construction was that I was in college, and that's all they needed to know. College boy.
Yeah.
And then also I gave one of the workers a ride home most of the time because he lived in a halfway house, and I was 19, so he's like, "Hey, let's stop and come and go. I'm gonna get some beer. I'll get you some too." I'm like, "Cool,
Yeah.
that'd be great, actually." So he comes with like an armload of like 40s, like old Milwaukee 40s.
Yeah.
He's
like
sprinting.
like 4 of them, and I'm like, "Oh God." He's like, "Yeah, all right, 2 for me, 2 for you." I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Actually, that sounds really good right now."
Yeah.
And like, driving along, we're like 3 blocks down the road, and like his are gone.
Oh, yeah.
Gone. I hear clanging bottles. I'm like, what? Oh, wow. I'm like, I'm like, after work, I'm gonna sip on some beers,
Yeah.
No, he was getting plowed before he goes back to the halfway
dude.
house.
Yeah.
There you go.
I worked with a dude at Earl May that we nicknamed him Sway because when he was watering the plants, he'd go like this. And then I'd give him a ride home, and he's like, "Can we stop at the liquor store?" And I was like, "Sure." And I'm like 16. I'm like, "Fine." He's like, "All right." He's like, "So when we get to my house, while you're backing out of the driveway, stop and then throw the bottle of vodka next to the house." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, you want me to throw this because your mom, because he lived with his mom. He's like a 50-year-old dude, the 50-year-old severe alcoholic." Who his mom couldn't see his liquor, so I had to throw it next to the house.
No way she'll see
Cool.
that.
Yeah. Perfect ruse.
Yeah.
The guy had no ethos. You know what
Did
I'm
that
saying?
child drop you off a bottle of alcohol?
Yeah.
What a bitch!
Yeah, I've worked with some weirdos. But
Yeah. But that reminds me of my boss. Who, he was like the GM of the place I was working, and he was dating a girl that worked there, but he loved to go to Dangerous Curves, the bikini bar in Ames.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a very specific niche.
Yeah, but he didn't have a car, so he was like, "Can you give me a ride?" But then he'd be like, "You got to stay for one." And then I'd wind up like hanging out with them at Dangerous Curves
They're best friends.
for like 4 hours or whatever. And his girlfriend, again, who we work with, would be like blowing up his phone, like, "Where the fuck are you?" But he would get so shit faced at the place that like he'd be like, "You got to help me think of something." Like I'd have to like help him come up with like where we
my
were,
God.
when we got back, and I was like, "Yeah, we were disc golfing." Like just trying to think of anything.
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah. One of those night courses.
We couldn't find the frisbee.
Yeah, we're taking a night improv class.
With Tammy and Crystal.
Yeah, why do you smell like cocoa butter?
How are the girls down?
I was gonna.
I know at least 2 of the times I went there because I think we wound up like me taking him at least. I think 5 or 6 times. Eventually, I had to like back out.
Damn, dude.
5 or 6 times.
Well, because it was my boss. Like,
Yeah.
it's sort
Oh,
of,
that's true, that's
It's sort of
true.
a weird situation
Yeah.
where I'm like,
I'm just his ride.
yeah, exactly. I'm
I'm sorry.
trying to curry favor a little with him. You know.
I don't even like titties.
Yeah, but I know at least 2 of the times I was there, girls I graduated with were dancing.
Oh, man.
Hell
And
yeah.
I was like, "So what have you been up to?"
Yeah.
You know, like up to this date. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a bachelor party at Outer Limits, and the dude I was with went to grade school with one of the strippers that was there, and they just talked all night. And I was like, all right.
Catching up on old times. You know?
Yeah.
Crazy to
odd.
meet you here.
You had Miss Caldwell, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Here you go. Thank you, sweetie. Anyways, yeah.
You were always very cool to me in homeroom. Yeah, I mean those. Yeah, wild. Especially like that college campus town bar restaurant
Because
circuit.
it wasn't.
It was
I
a
never
bikini
went in
bar.
there. Yeah.
So like
Yeah, right,
no
it was
full
just-
nudity.
But they can serve beer. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, they served wings
Yeah.
and beer and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Trust me on that. We got plenty of wings, which is another. Yeah, just like because it's like people in
I wouldn't brag about that.
Yeah, it's like people in lingerie, and then it's like past the dippers.
Can I get some more ranch?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really, really.
I mean, I guess
strange
that's
place.
what Hooters is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the whole business model.
Yeah, it was a
And they went bankrupt.
There's
Hooters.
still a
did?
Hooters in Davenport.
Or they just closed? Did they go? Somebody quote me.
I don't think
Somebody fact check
they're. I think they've
They ain't
closed a
doing
lot,
great.
but I think
Okay,
they're
okay,
still.
they're still there.
And at lunchtime,
Suncoast Video.
They're still clicking.
There's a couple
yeah,
left.
Yeah.
it's the one that ain't doing too hot that I see occasionally. It's like, who's working at Hooters that does no business?
I'd love to find out.
yeah.
It hasn't quite clicked to get it OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
still working Hooters.
I got to get enough money to get the camera, then OnlyFans. This is the bottom floor right here.
You get a nice DSLR kind of situation. Boom mic.
DeWalt
Well,
boombox.
We've done more than our
snap.
court mandated time, as a matter of fact. So I think we can start landing this plane. Alex Carter at Beechwood, April 19th. I don't know if you saw that, Alex.
I did see that.
Okay. nice.
Yes,
Sometimes Alex gets put on shows he doesn't know.
it's true. I'm doing what? Oh, cool.
But you can see Alex Carter with Uncle Marky co-headlining April
I'm
19th,
excited for that
8 p.m. That will be a
That's
banger.
fun.
That was going to be a banger.
I would love. I've never seen Uncle Marky more than 5 minutes at a time.
No.
Oh,
I'm
I haven't in a
intrigued.
while, but he's got
That,
the goods.
April 19th, huh?
Yeah,
I
save the
might have
date.
to- yeah.
Yeah, it's a good lineup.
Seek that one out.
Yeah, I think I'll be there. If I was gonna guess my own fortunes,
What do you got going on, Bulver?
yeah.
Any shows to plug?
I'm going to Cedar Rapids with Sam Hershock and Wade Taylor
Oh,
here on Thursday.
nice.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
We're at.
Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids Arena. And Venmo at Tobocop,
That's right.
obviously. Shout out Shyla, obviously.
She didn't do much with this soundboard,
Yeah.
Shyla.
Listen,
Big talk on the soundboard.
you can't overdo it.
It's a
That's
learning
true.
curve.
She'll find her stride. Patreon.com/NoSleepDSM. Great way to support. I desperately need to pay Shyla, so let's get a little cash infusion.
Like, subscribe, and follow, right?
That's right. On all the platforms. I think we broke the TikTok curse. We still got no likes, but we got like 2,000 views on the thing.
Okay.
happened?
All right.
TikTok just kind of bottomed out for us.
After it dipped out and then came back after those 14 hours and ain't done nothing since.
Yeah.
You're not doing good in the Chinese algorithm.
No.
No.
They don't like our OnlyFans material. Or
There we
Yeah.
yeah, shit. You're not really a social media guy, Bulver.
Not really.
No, but you can find him out
That's
there.
good.
Yeah.
You can find me out
A
there.
very, very funny stand-up comedian. I think we
you.
can all agree on that.
Appreciate
One of
it.
the best in the biz.
Yes. Yeah, well, shit. Black Hat Ice Cream, too, of course.
Of course.
But I think with that said, I've been AJ Simmons. Thanks for listening, folks.
Ooh, I've been Tom McGrain.
Yeah.
I've been Justin Bulver.
And I've been the Ice Cream King of the Moment, Alex Carter.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Fucking AJ, Toll and Alex. They're fucking hilarious.
This is a certified hood classic. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.